Of the way trauma impacts the brains and bodies of children, it will almost definitely affect relationships with family members and potential friends. If adults and peers do not understand that this is what's actually going on in the child's brain, how might it impact relationships with you, with peers, with others, when the child overreacts? If the caregiver, teacher, or other adult working with the child does not understand what's going on in the child's brain, they might take it personally, respond with imposing punishment, and not even stay involved with the child. For those that are more understanding and continue to work with the child, it can get frustrating after a while because the misunderstandings could lead to a lack of trust from the child, even though the other person is actually doing and saying all of the right things. So children can remain in survival mode much longer than you might expect until their brains can truly learn a new pattern of acting, interacting, and reacting. That's where you'll come in, as they learn it best from you. We know that this is a lot of information to take in. It's a lot to get. To help, we'll move on to a quick activity where we'll work together to answer a few questions about long-term trauma and its effect on behaviors. There are two major adaptive strategies that we use that work together to help us cope with stress, distress, and traumatic stress. The first is hyperarousal. The second is dissociation. These are natural, biological responses that help to protect us. But important to remember, these responses come from the lower parts of our brain. Is that the smart thinking part of the brain, or the instinctive reactive part of the brain? In moments when these responses are activated, they are coming from instinct, not logic or thinking. Let's look at hyperarousal responses first. You may have heard about fight or flight. These reactions are forms of hyperarousal, which means things are revved up too hot and our brains and bodies will have to respond. So we fight under stress, or sometimes when things or people become too much for us, we run away from them. Is this the way any of you currently react or have reacted under extreme stress? It's true for most of us. And the same is true for children who have experienced separations, trauma, and loss. The difference for them is that when a person has been exposed to extreme or ongoing distress, like physical or sexual abuse, or unpredictable or uncontrollable stress, like with poverty, community violence, the stress response systems can become what's called sensitized. This means their brains may not be able to determine what an actual threat is and overreacts to things as if they are more important and more threatening than they actually are. What might hyperarousal behaviors look like for a child who has experienced separation, loss, and trauma? Extreme reactions, often from things that seem minor, a hard time transitioning, meltdowns or getting worked up easily, running away, bursting away from interactions with others, lashing out, and yelling. Now let's look at dissociation. Dissociation comes from the same instinctive part of the brain as hyperarousal, and it also is a response to detecting threat. So the response is for protection and survival of the person, like hyperarousal, but it looks quite different on the outside. The flock response is the natural part of looking to others to help you figure out how to interpret a challenge. It helps us to maneuver our way through many situations where we are unsure. But for children with backgrounds of separation, loss, and trauma, looking to others has not always kept them safe. It is not uncommon for children with these experiences to constantly keep watching over adults and their surroundings because they learned they had to keep themselves safe. When children are later in your homes, you may notice this through their facial expressions, such as wide eyes or body language that can look stiff or turned inward. You might hear this referred to as hypervigilance.